Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Cold Hard Truth podcast. I'm Jack Smith.
I'm Shrikar Gendran.
And I'm Anish Gupta.
So I heard you guys were together the day the news broke. It was yesterday. You were at each other's houses. Cam Newton to the New England Patriots. What was your initial reaction to this monster signing?
So Newton is signing a 1-year deal worth up to $7.5 million, I believe. The move itself works on multiple levels because he's going to be tied with Marcus Mariota as the NFL's 20th highest paid quarterback this fall. The Pats can now lean on a former league MVP to lead the offense. Also, they gain a future compensatory selection if Newton plays well, but decides not to re-sign next offseason. But then again, New England isn't locked long-term if he doesn't return to form. So I like it from a financial perspective. That being said, though, I want to pass it over to Anish because I know he's the Cam fan. So let's see your reaction, Anish.
This is great. This is we were at I was at Shrikar's house. We were playing Madden, and just breaks the news to me. And I was like, dude, there's no way. I had to pause the game, look at my phone to make sure he wasn't trolling me. This is incredible. I mean, Shrikar and I both said that the Pats were the best team to kind of sign him. As you can tell, I kind of lost my voice because I was kind of yelling the whole time I found out. But this is a great signing. I mean, this could not have been a better fit for a guy that I've always loved. I've always loved Cam Newton. I thought he was always hated upon for no apparent reason by guys like Jack. Oh, only 17-game winning drives. Oh, this and that. Like he's a great quarterback. I'm telling you. In my opinion, I think he's in the past decade. I think he's a top 10 quarterback who's played in the past decade. And I don't think really that's arguable. He has done so much for this game. For guys like Lamar Jackson, who's coming out and playing the way he's played. Even Patrick Mahomes, just the gunslinging ability that he's had. Cam Newton was one of those guys to have a rocket firearm. And people do not give Cam Newton the credit that he deserves. He took a franchise on his back, right? This is a Panthers team that lost everything. They had not been relevant since 2003 with, I don't even know what it is. I think it's like Dole Home or something like that for them. Like they had
Jake
not had
Delhomme.
a quarterback. Yeah. They didn't have anything up there in Carolina. And Cam Newton comes in, puts this franchise on his back, and literally takes him to a Super Bowl. I believe he has 4 playoff appearances, maybe more if I'm not mistaken, but I think he has 4. Though he's never had back-to-back winning seasons, he's done so much for the Carolina Panthers, for this organization. It's one of the more recent ones anyway, and they've had more success than the Browns, Lions, Cardinals. I mean, so many teams, and it largely in part due to Cam Newton. And the Panthers have continually disrespected him. They have not gotten him the help that he needs. And, people are voicing their concerns. Oh, he doesn't have receivers. Oh, he doesn't have that good of a running game. He's never had that. He has never had good receivers. The one time I'll give you that was Steve Smith, and that was on the back end of his career. He left in 2013 anyway. Greg Olsen, I will concede Greg Olsen has been there for the large majority of his career. But again, he also started to decline in the years that Cam also started to, kind of have his bad seasons. So he's really never had a true receiving core. While New England doesn't really give that to him, I would say it's better than what he had in the final few years in his Carolina career. Running backs, yes, he did have a young CMC, and he did have D'Angelo Williams here and there. But again, right, like he was really the main reason behind that running game. And a young CMC, while he was electrifying, and you guys know how much I love CMC, it was just he wasn't at his prime as he is now. So, I mean, can James White and Sony Michel do well? Yeah, like I think he can easily work with that. And he's getting a really good defense. He's getting the best secondary in the league, which I've voiced over and over is still the best secondary. But yeah, back to Cam. Guys, I'm telling you, this is a great signing. This is amazing. I mean, as a Cam Newton fan, I'm just so happy for him because they're sleeping on him. And I'm telling you, he's going to prove everyone wrong.
I agree. Great signing. For a team whose starting quarterback was going to be Jarrett Stidham, who was easily the worst starting quarterback in the league. I think that, Cam Newton is going to be good with the Patriots because he's just better than what they have. But I really need people to stop overreacting to this deal. I mean,
what do you mean by overreacting? Like, what do you say is a big of a?
What would you call
an
example? Yesterday when he said that this is the greatest signing or move of the entire offseason.
I said it was one of the best.
See, I remember your initial reaction. You said it was the
greatest. No, I wouldn't say greatest. But I
said one of the best.
You got to give it credit. This is one of the best moves. And wait, let me say this. I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but I read this on an article. I kind of took my own spin on it. I believe that this was done on purpose. I believe that the Patriots wanted to sign Cam Newton for the last 3 months. They've been wanting to do it, right? I don't think this was out of the blue. I think they planned on doing it specifically yesterday because
Yeah,
I
they
don't know
did.
if the fine, right? The fine and the pick that they lost due to the filming of the Bengals Browns game. I think Bill Belichick knew that this was going to come out, right? And he didn't want any kind of heat on the Patriots as itself, so he purposely waited to sign Cam Newton on that day, right, to avoid the backlash that he would have gotten for all the stuff that they lost because they were heavily penalized. $1.1 million in fines. I believe they lost a third-round pick for the next season. That is a big fine for something like that. So, I mean, to soften the blow, he kind of takes the media on another pathway with this whole Cam Newton signing. So I believe that actually the Patriots would have done it come March, come April, right? I think they probably would have done. I think they had Cam Newton in their plans, in their offseason plans. I think they just waited for the right time to do it because of the whole punishment thing with the fine. I think they knew they were going to get hit with it. And this is again another smart move by Bill Belichick, who I told you, if I were to bet my money on any coach in the league, it is him. And again, that's why he's probably my favorite coach in the
Here's
league.
the thing.
He's
Here's
just
the
so
thing.
smart with it. So
This is where I'm going to side with Jack because not every risky move the Pats have made in recent years worked out in their favor. I mean, when you look at Josh Gordon,
not every one of them.
You look at Josh
yeah,
Gordon, you look at Josh Gordon, you look at Chad Johnson.
Antonio Brown.
It never really worked out for the Pats. But here's the thing. I think Newton's track record and his play before injuries, I think that's just a sign of further success, especially in a new look Patriots offense where Josh McDaniels has taken the reins. So that's where I like the move.
See, this is where what
you can't say before injuries and just disregard how.
No, you can't. I can't just. That's what I'm saying. So see, hold up. So
you can't.
First off,
but before the injuries, he was doing good.
Okay,
if he can come back to that form, it's
about
worth it.
the whole risk thing. First off, the Patriots. That's not on them. They have never those are all low risk, high reward scenarios. They have never taken huge risks. Okay, the only thing you can consider as big moves by Bill Belichick is cutting players a year too early before it's a year too late. For example, Chandler Jones, a year before he hit his prime, they send him to Arizona, right? Same thing with Brandon Cooks. They cut him off. They ship him to Los Angeles. So they've been known to cut players a year too early, right? Rather than a year too late when their contracts aren't expendable, where they're too expensive and it's hard to get anything back for them, right? Those are, I guess you could say, high risks, but listen, I don't think the Patriots, honestly, in the last 10 years have made a single bad move that has led to anything bad. I really the Josh Gordon thing was literally no risk at all. What do you lose? You didn't have to give up a huge pick. You didn't have to give up huge money for it. Same thing with Antonio Brown. They didn't lose anything off that. They won a game with him. There was no risk in any of these signings that you brought up. Literally Bill Belichick has done. Because it's hard to say all or nothing. But what has Bill Belichick done wrong in this last 10 years? He has really there really hasn't been. The only thing I would consider was a mistake was benching Malcolm Butler in the Super Bowl. That is it. That is the only thing I would put as a smidge on his resume. That's the only thing. Everything else he has done perfect. He has put everything perfectly in place for this team to succeed. And Tom Brady has been a big part of that because he has taken pay cuts. He has allowed this team to build around winning championships. Same thing with the Pats players. I don't know if you know this, but Bill Belichick is not the nicest guy. And when he coaches, right, he actually turns his back on players. And the fact is, players are actually okay with that because they respect his resume. And you see, the reason why Bill Belichick's coaching tree has not done well is because Shannon Sharp brought this up too. They try and take Bill Belichick's coaching style and they apply it to players. But the thing is, they don't have his resume to back it up. So players will tend to rebel, like you're seeing in Detroit with Matt Patricia, especially with Darius Slay. You would see that, and Darius Slay has his right to do that because why would you look at Matt Patricia in the same light as Bill Belichick just because you're from his tree? So when you say this whole low risk thing, they haven't really done anything wrong, in my opinion. These are all low risk, high reward scenarios, and I think Cam Newton's going to give you that high reward. And to Jack, with the whole Jarrett Stidham thing, look, I think I can ask this question if you guys don't mind. Where does this lead the Patriots? And I'll kind of start with it. I had the Pats going 9-7 anyway, with Stidham as the quarterback. I'm a huge believer in Belichick. I'm a huge believer in their secondary. And again, they've ruled the AFC East. It's not like I agree. Tom Brady is a big piece loss. But again, with Bill Belichick there, who's taken Matt Castle to 11-5, right? It's not like coaches, you're getting older, you lose anything. Like he's still there. And I think Cam Newton improves them. I have him going 10-6. So what are you guys' thoughts on that?
I want to, before I touch on that, I want to go back and just, yes, this is a perfect move for the Patriots. I think it's exactly the kind of moves that they make. It's going to be well adored by the media. It's financially a good move, but I think that people don't realize that Cam Newton's declining and has been declining. He's dealt with so many injuries. We don't really know if he can still throw a football for 16 games of a season, and we know that he can't run as much because of the injuries and hits he's taken. I just think that yes, it's a great move to bring him in because, like you mentioned, it's low risk, high reward. But everyone just assumes it's going to pay off so well. Just don't be surprised if we get the Cam Newton that's injured all the time and is not even a shell of his former self.
Look, I think that's a fair statement. Like I would agree with that. He has been injured, and I cannot defend that. He has been injured, his foot, his shoulder, and it's large part due to because he has taken in the last 10 years, right, since he's been in the league, it's not even close. He's taken the most hits but compared to any quarterback. Think about it. He's getting hit by linebackers, strong safeties, whereas most quarterbacks would be getting tackled by a defensive lineman, like not as hard as he's getting hit, right? Players aren't coming at that speed towards him. So we have to concede that. But again, I know you like this phrase. That being said, Cam Newton, right? I think he just needed a change of scenery. He doesn't have to carry this Patriots organization like he did with the Panthers. He didn't have to sacrifice himself for the for the Patriots like he did with the Panthers. This Patriots team is, again, I think it was a lot. It's better fitted for him than what he had in Carolina from 2016 onwards. I think this team is better fitted for him, right? Again, Cam Newton, he's had time now. I wouldn't say he's 100%. I cannot give you that guarantee, but I think he's doing a lot better than what he was week 2 when he lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last season. I think he's a lot better shape. He's been practicing with Odell Beckham. He's been grinding every day.
He's been posting workout videos.
Yep,
It
yep.
looks like he's ready to play.
Yep. But I'm one of those guys that says, yeah, looks ready to play does not mean he is ready to play. So
Yeah,
I'm
of
with you,
course.
Jeff, on the conservative side. But again, like this is perfect. And I don't even think he might start week 1. He doesn't need to, right? He doesn't even need to because again, Bill Belichick's system will take time to learn. But he doesn't need to start week 1. He doesn't need to. I think give him maybe a week 2, week 3 start, and he'll be on his way. And it's funny because the one quarterback that Bill Belichick has never beaten is Cam Newton. I think that's very funny to me. And now he has him on his team. And there's so much potential there. I think Bill Belichick. Look, I think like Cam Newton is still very talented. I think Ron Rivera and North Turner did not exploit his talents to the potential that Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels can. And I think now we'll see different ways that Cam Newton can throw the football and get it out, whether it's quick dropbacks or to the running backs, because now he has better pass catchers there. Right? I think they didn't surround him with the type of guys like Jonathan Stewart was not a pass catching elusive running back. He was a straight up like Mike Tolbert was. I mean, Mike Tolbert was getting half the carries sometimes. Like that is not the way I think you got to give it to Cam Newton. I think you got to go with elusive pass catching backs like Rex Burkhead types, James White, even Sony Michel. If you need that power running game in there, you have a guy like that. But the New England Patriots, I think, have surrounded him with enough. It's not even they're building around him. I think Cam Newton was the missing piece. And who knows, maybe he's a bridge quarterback for another guy in the future.
I just think the running game will become less predictable just in general because Newton can play off Sony Michel instead of defenses keying in on Michel because he's more likely to carry the ball than be involved in the pass game. So
the
I
Pats
think
have had a
predictable.
very predictable run game. It's never been consistent.
Yeah.
This could change.
It's just adding another layer to that offense.
And I think you guys would agree that Cam Newton's just a little bit of a better runner than Tom Brady was. So
yeah, exactly. But that's the thing though. I don't know if he would run as I really don't know how conservative they're going to play it. That's one thing I would be concerned about. How are they going to handle that? How are they going to handle him taking these type of hits, or how are they going to handle him being elusive? But one thing's for sure, David Andrews comes back, right? They have the right side of the line is damn near perfect, right? Marcus Cannon, Shaq Mason, David Andrews comes back. Isaiah Wynn needs some work, but again, Joe Tooney, right? We all know he's a pretty good guard. So their offensive line is very good. I think it's very underrated, and people do not give the Patriots credit for that. I think it's a top 10 offensive line, borderline top 7. And I think if Isaiah Wynn can get his chops right, I think that could be a very, very good offensive line, something that Cam Newton really has never had. I can't name you a good offensive line. Maybe 2015, but again, when they have these good seasons, I think it's when everything comes together. So, I think this is a very good roster that Cam Newton's been placed in, and I'm so excited. I think you guys have no idea how I'm excited for the season. And look, I'm telling you, I think now I feel bad for Josh Allen because you guys know how much I like him too, but this division is far from over.
Yeah, see, can they win the division? I'm going to say no chance.
No chance.
No chance.
No chance.
No, they very
That
much
is a
have a
terrible
chance.
take.
No
Listen,
chance.
Very much have a
I
chance.
had them having a shot at the division without Cam Newton. I had them going 9-7. I thought they had a shot because again, they still have the defense. They still
it's
have
Belichick
most of their
too.
pieces.
They have the
Look,
defense, but here's the problem. Julian Edelman's just getting older. They don't have very much else.
yeah, I know he's surgery, led the league in
Mhm.
drops, 34, blah blah. I know that.
No tight end.
I'll give you that.
No tight end. And
Okay.
honestly, I think Cam Newton will be better than Jarrett Stidham would have been, but I don't think he's going to be. Everyone, like, when they're talking about it, I feel like all they can think of is 2015 Cam Newton and how he's just going to get right back to that. But you just got to look at Cam Newton, how injured.
So, well, we're just not gonna. Okay, I know he's been injured, but we can't ignore the fact that he went 11-5 2 years later, and then he went 6-2 in 2018. That was his last healthy form. His last healthy form was 2 years ago. I agree that's pretty long ago, but that's not 2015 long ago, right? So his last healthy form, he was 10th in QBR, he was 10th in passing, right? He was 10th in overall passing out of all quarterbacks in 2018 at the time before he got hurt. He was 10th in QBR. I believe he was averaging around 250 yards a game, which is pretty impressive. And he went 6-2. Keep mind you, 6-2. That is pretty impressive. And he was 4th in MVP voting that year at that time. That is very impressive. So that is his last healthy form, right?
He's been injured since then.
But he's been injured in 2016. He had he had head injuries and shoulder injuries that year. They went 6-10. So he was injured 2016. He comes back 11-5, makes the playoffs, almost beats the Saints in New Orleans. 2018 he goes 6-2. He gets that right shoulder injury, loses 52-20 against the Steelers. Then his season falls apart. 2019 he was still battling the same injury because again, I think people don't realize for a quarterback how long a shoulder injury takes to actually heal. So I think I will agree with you, Jack. People are underestimating his shoulder injury. Also, they were underestimating his foot injury. So if you actually watch his 2 games, I actually rewatched his highlights yesterday. It was weird. Like his dropbacks, it seemed like he couldn't even plant his foot.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't even plant his foot right. So, but think about it. Now he's had a full year and a half to really get that better. And I think for the foot, I don't think it would take as much time as the shoulder, which he's had enough time now with both injuries to kind of heal. I will agree with you. I don't think we'll ever see a 2015 Cam Newton again, which sucks, but I really don't think we'll see that. But can we see that 2018 form, that 6-2, 10th QBR form? Yeah, I think we can. But yeah, that being said, I mean, Jack, you want to give kind of what do you think the Patriots will go now that what's your outlook on the Patriots and what's your outlook for the AFC East, knowing that you're kind of a Jets fan, and I'm very happy that this is bad for the Jets. So what's your kind of outlook on the AFC?
Playing off what you had just previously said, I think that when you take a running quarterback and you take away their legs, then they have to focus on their arm, right? And throwing the ball. Mm-hmm. And then you take away that arm at this, like, I think that with both
but you're not taking it away.
I know that. But like for last 1.5 years, he wasn't NFL form because of his shoulder injury.
Yeah.
And after previously being not a run first quarterback, but a quarterback who prefers to run the ball, and you give him the foot injury and then the shoulder injury falls back to back, I just think it's going to be a lot harder to get back to NFL quarterback form with those 2 injuries than people think. And I think that while a lot of people want to chalk this up as a great move and Cam Newton's going to immediately come back and lead the Patriots to the playoffs, there needs to be a little bit of doubt there, in my opinion, because I just don't know how easy it's going to be to come back from both of those injuries. And I remember when we talked about the Le'Veon Bell signing for the Jets last offseason, you mentioned how
it
will be.
I was skeptical. I will agree with you. I was very skeptical about it. I didn't think he would do well.
No, I know. And he didn't. But there's a lot of reasons for that. But also, that's the running back position. The quarterback position in the NFL is so much more difficult than the running back position. And especially when you're a team that has playoff hopes, coming back after not playing in over a year it's going to be difficult for him, especially when you have to learn a new system, one of the hardest systems I think to learn because it's so.
No, I wouldn't say that. I think they'll make it easy on Cam. They've done it for Matt Castle before for a full year. They can do it.
Okay, that's true. But I just think that there needs to be a little bit more doubt when people talk about this signing because it's not going to be all perfect, and he's not going to come back immediately and be I'm not an MVP candidate, but he's not going to be great. I think at the beginning because you just have. I wish people were a little bit more skeptical. I know I'm skeptical of a lot of things about Cam Newton, but especially with the injuries and coming into a new team, learning a new system after not playing in a while, there just needs to be a little bit of doubt there, in my opinion.
So I got two questions for both of you, and I'll kind of go with this. Okay, again, so kind of leading back. So what is your outlook on the AFC East? That's one. Where do you see if you were to give a record quickly, where would you give the Patriots? Where would you see them fall in the rankings of the AFC East? My second question, this one I know you'll love. Where does Cam Newton rank in quarterbacks for the AFC East?
I'll answer your first one right now. I think they will be a 5 or 6 seed in the AFC.
Okay.
5 or 6 seed. And I think that's a fair place to put them. Record-wise, I'll say 9-7. I'll say 9-7, maybe 10-6. I'll agree with you there. But I do want to hear Jack's answer to the second one before I answer it because I'm interested.
Where would you put him? Where would you put him?
That's such a good question. That's tough.
I've got the Patriots going 8-8. I think that after learning, I mean that's one below streetcars, and
that's not bad.
But see, 8-8, I think it's okay. Okay, let me hear me out. Sorry, let me hear you out.
8-8, and that's assuming that Cam Newton doesn't get injured or plays the whole season. But it could be worse than that if Jarrett Stidham has to come in for a big chunk of time. It's mostly because I've dropped the Jets record. Originally, I had them going 8-8. Right now, I have them 7-9, 6-10 with all the Jamal Adams things going on. And now they don't get to play Jarrett Stidham 2 times a year, most likely. So I think they're going to finish second. I think the Bills run away with the division.
Run away. See, no.
Run away.
Okay. Wait. Let him speak.
Maybe 10-6, 11-5. I think I just don't.
Sure.
I don't see teams catching up with them this year. And then for the AFC East, I've got Cam Newton in third for quarterbacks.
Oh no, and I know who you have as your
team. We know.
Yeah, I know. I know that, and I've got my.
So who's one?
I'll put him second. I
got Sam Darnold 1, Josh Allen 2, Cam Newton 3.
What?
And whoever the Dolphins have it for.
All right, here's how it goes,
man. Okay,
Josh Allen 1, Cam Newton 2, Darnold 3, Fitzpatrick 4. I think that's how it's gonna go for me.
Let's wait till here. I can already predict Anisha's list. Ready? He's gonna go Cam Newton at 1, Josh Allen 2.
No.
Fitzpatrick 3.
At 3.
Here's what I'll go. Okay, look. I had the Pats again. I had them going 9-7 with Stidham as the quarterback. Okay, I had them going 9-7 with Stidham. I think we did like a playoff predictor thing on a website, Jack. I think all three of us did it. It was funny because I actually had the Pats going 6-10 in that simulation. But I think if I were to like actually look down and say it, I think with Stidham maybe 9-7, 8-8. That's what I was kind of looking at. Cam Newton now. Look, you would think I would say, whoa, that's like a lot better. They're a lot better. No, I think Cam Newton would give them an extra game. I think he gets them to 10-6. I think 10-6 is a very good spot. That being said, that third spot, look, okay, Stephen A. Smith, I think went a little too far by saying the Patriots are the third best team in the AFC. That is way too far. I'm not going to go there. That is very far. That being said, though, I think they are one of those teams that can become the third best team in the AFC. Do you see what I'm saying? Like
they could give the Chiefs and Ravens a run for their money.
They're in that mix. Nowhere close to the Chiefs and the Ravens, though. I think those are the two that are
it's definitely not definitive. You can't say it definitively, though.
The Colts, the Titans, the Steelers, the Pats, low-key, the Browns, the Bills, maybe even the Browns.
Low-key the Browns.
Like those are all teams fighting for that 3-7. That's 3-7, right? Those are all those teams that are fighting for it.
Would you have the Dolphins going like 10-6 when we did that?
That being said, that now I think that I had them going 9-7, but I think now it kind of comes back to earth a little bit. I think my bold prediction is going to go a little bit down. I think maybe now 7-9, 8-8, but who knows? You never know. Maybe it could happen. But yeah, for my quarterback rankings, this is going to be funny. You know how much I like Josh Allen, so he's at number 1 for me, no question. But yeah, Cam Newton for me is actually at 2. I'm going to put him at 2. Third, I'm going to put Ryan Fitzpatrick because again,
I knew it.
Like I said, if right now Fitzpatrick can win me more games, right now I'm putting Fitzpatrick at 3. And I have said this and I will say it again, 5-4 down the stretch. beat some very good teams like the Colts, and he beat the Pats in New England, right? So I will take Fitzpatrick right now over my fourth best quarterback in the division, Sam Darnold, who I will put at 4, and I will stick by that because I have not seen enough from him. So I will put 1 Josh Allen, I will put 2 Cam Newton, I will put 3 Ryan Fitzpatrick, 4 Sam Darnold, 5th is Tua, but I think Tua will probably pass Sam Darnold later.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's my rankings right now.
He
But
hates
yeah,
Tua too. Oh man.
Tua's not bad. Like I'm not the biggest Tua fan, but come on now, I think he's got potential.
But it's an Alabama quarterback. Like we're not gonna know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go as far as to say he'll be the best quarterback in the division, but could he be the second best? Maybe. Who knows? We'll see. But right now, I think that's my quarterback rankings. I know Jack's very mad because he basically has it flipped over, which is I think is very bad because
man, you're delusional sometimes.
No,
Darnold what?
Darnold at 1 is delusional. That's delusional.
Yeah.
I think
So
we should all
that's
agree,
that USC Jets
all
vibe.
be
5-4 down the stretch, right?
We
Try
should
to be
all
5-4
be
down the
agreeing that Josh Allen is 1 right now. That shouldn't even be a discussion. That should not even be a discussion.
He plays for the best team in the division, and Darnold has had way less and has gone.
But it's
just
but it's funny because you say he plays for the best team, but with the exact same roster, right? They went 6-10 the year before with the exact same roster, except for Ed Oliver. They literally went 6-10 the year before. Josh Allen's progression
teams
led them to go 10-6.
Of a year. That's actually kind of how it works. And also, look at his rookie year. Look at how bad his rookie year was.
That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's what my point, though. You can have a bad rookie year. Peyton Manning had one of the worst rookie years of all time. Where is he now? You don't need to have a good rookie year to be a good quarterback.
Okay, but
Sam Darnold didn't have a good rookie year. Like, you don't need to have a good rookie year to be a good quarterback. Look, Josh Allen did not have the best rookie year out of that 2018 class. I think he had the 4th worst, right? I think it was Bake, then Lamar, then Sam, then him, then Josh Rosen.
Yeah.
Okay? But that being said, next season he took a huge step forward. And now he gets Stephon Diggs, who will help him with his deep ball accuracy. And right now, there is no question. This should not even be a discussion that Josh Allen is clear-cut number 1. No. That should not be even. It shouldn't even be close. And we've discussed it. Jack, again, we'll do it on air. Would you be willing to bet me who would have more yards, who would have more touchdowns, overall touchdowns, and who would have less picks? I would put $50 on that
on air before. That I believe that Josh Allen will have a better year this year because he has better coaching, a better line, and better talent around.
No. Jets have a better offensive line right now.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
They've invested in it. No, look.
You can't. Okay, here's the thing. You can't say this. You can't say when the Jets make the offensive line moves that you don't think it's going to work out. But then when it's a different argument and you have to go your way.
Look, I don't think it's going to work out the way you're thinking. But that again, it's still better than what the Bills have.
Guys, it's a Cam Newton episode.
Yeah, it's a Cam Newton thing. Let's
a Cam Newton episode. Save it for another time.
Yeah, it's an episode about the 3rd best quarterback in the AFC East. I get it. I know.
Oh.
Again, I like. Look,
this is so funny.
I'm telling you right now, Cam Newton fans. I'm telling you as a Cam Newton fan, he's going to take this team to the playoffs. I wouldn't call them. Shrika, I would not call them a Super Bowl contender. As much as I love Cam Newton, I would not say that right now.
Oh, thank God.
But playoff contender, no question. This is a team that can easily make the playoffs. And Jack, I don't know how you can disagree with that statement. This is a team that can easily, I think it's a 50-50 chance that they make the playoffs. And easily with the 7 seed playoff scenario, I think they make it in. They win a playoff game on the road. I don't know. I think they're a team. I think if I were to give a realistic prediction, I say they go 10-6, and I say they lose in the first round. I think that is my realistic prediction. But I think, could Cam Newton stay for another year? What do you like? Let's finish it off with that. Could Cam Newton stay another year in New England?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he
can.
I think it's very tough. I think it's very tough for him. I don't know if he's that guy. I think he's a bridge quarterback. So yeah, I think he could stay another year. But there are a lot of teams. I think keep in mind if the I think if Trubisky, I think this is Trubisky's last year, right? So I'm a believer. I think he can put it together. But if he doesn't, I think the Bears would be I think the Bears got to relook at things. And if Cam Newton takes this team to the playoffs, I think the Bears should be willing to give up some money for him. I think if they can get out of Steelers. Yes, Steelers are very good team. Yeah, that's another New England type of roster, type of system. Oh, could you imagine Cam on the Steelers? I would hate to play that twice a year if I'm the Browns, but I mean, just saying, like, That's a nice combo.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the Patriots can make the playoffs. I think that this signing I could eat my words, and this Cam Newton could come back and play well. What I just want to see is a little bit more skepticism about the signing, because it's not going to be all perfect, and it's not 100% chance he comes back and plays well.
Yeah.
But so far, what I've seen from the media and reading about this is everyone thinks it's the perfect signing that's going to turn out really well for the Patriots, and they're going to, be playoff contenders for the next couple years with Cam
See,
Newton.
how can it turn bad though? What's the worst case scenario here?
He
Cam
Gets
doesn't work
injured.
out.
A, doesn't play well because of his injuries. He B, gets injured again, or
Okay.
it just really doesn't work out because
So
all
okay,
of the
and
stuff that's
three reasons. How does that hurt their cap? How does that hurt their
no,
playoff
no, no.
scenario anyway?
It doesn't hurt them. I just believe that everyone believes that it's going to be perfect for them and they can contend for a Super Bowl now. And I just need to see a little bit more skepticism.
Look, listen, I will say this though. I told you they're far from a Super Bowl contender right now, but again, never bet against Bill Belichick. So I mean, you can't rule them out. I'm telling you, he just finds a way, man. And I'm like, if they like, he just does. Like, it's like, what can you say? I can't. This is like, I thought this was the year. I thought this was the year I could finally, take my stock off Bill Belichick, but proved me kind of right yet again, where I can't bet against him. I mean, that he's just a great coach, man. He's just so like interesting and unpredictable, and I think it's great.
Now that Debo's hurt, Anish has a new man crush. It's Bill Belichick.
No. Don't worry. Just wait for
Nah,
year
the
two.
Debo man crush doesn't end for him, man.
Year two, Debo. I'm telling you. Listen, but yeah, Cam Newton. Mark my words. I think he should be the comeback player of the year front runner right now.
I mean, it's interesting. I think it's a great signing by the Patriots. It's a Patriots kind of move where there's no super high risk to it, but I just want to see a little bit more questioning and skepticism about Cam Newton and the way he may play this year, because I mean, there's a good chance it's not what people are thinking, and I just want more people to think the way I do. But
it's also another reason why the Jets are going to go last and 4-12 in the division. So it's a win-win for me. I'm taking what I could get. I
haven't seen Anish this happy in a while.
This is great. I get Cam back in the league, and I get the Jets last in the division. This is perfect.
Dude, I just wish I got to see Jarrett Stidham play for 2 games against the Jets. But
yeah, I thought that would have been really interesting to see. But hey, who knows?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's an interesting signing, and we're going to see how it pays off this year when we get the NFL back. I'm excited. As much as I am doubting it, I'm excited to see how it plays out on the field, and I know you guys are too. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you guys wouldn't mind, please like and subscribe, rate us 5 stars wherever you're listening. Check out our website and our Instagram. They'll be linked in the description, and we'll see you next time.